You are watching The Whale Flow, where we don't chase trends, we study the structure of transformation. In this episode, we explore one of the most misunderstood, yet most profound revolutions born from blockchain technology, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and how they're quietly redefining what it means to own something in the digital age. When people hear NFT, most think of profile pictures, pixel art, and speculative mania. They remember the headlines of 2021, JPEGs selling for millions, cartoon apes turning into luxury brands, and influencers promising overnight wealth. That moment was real, but it was only the surface, a brief eruption of attention over a much deeper idea. The true story of NFTs is not about hype, it is about ownership, identity, and the infrastructure of the digital economy. To understand NFTs, let's start with the core problem of the internet. For decades, the web has allowed us to share information freely, but not ownership. You can copy an image, a song, or a video infinitely, but you can't prove who the real owner is. The internet solved distribution, but not property. Blockchain solved that. An NFT is not just a picture, it is a digital certificate of authenticity. A record on a public ledger proving that one specific item, whether it's an artwork, a ticket, a domain name, or a piece of in-game land, truly belongs to someone. It's the same logic that makes land deeds or car titles meaningful. But this time it happens entirely in code. At its heart, an NFT is a token, unique, indivisible, and traceable. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, which are fungible, every unit is the same. NFTs are one of one or part of a limited collection. Each NFT carries metadata, a set of information that defines what it represents and who owns it. Because it lives on blockchain, this ownership can't be faked or erased. It is transparent, verifiable, and permanent. For the first time in human history, digital property has the same weight as physical property. The first major wave of NFTs began with art. Platforms like OpenSea, Rarible, and Foundation allowed artists to mint their work directly onto the blockchain and sell it globally without galleries or agents. This democratized creativity. Artists who once struggled for visibility suddenly had access to global markets. Collectors who once needed to trust intermediaries could now verify authenticity instantly. It was messy, chaotic, and revolutionary. Then came communities. Collections like Bored Ape Yacht Club and Azuki didn't sell art, they sold identity. Owning one wasn't about the image, it was about belonging. It became your digital passport, your social status in the Web3 world. For better or worse, this transformed NFTs into a cultural phenomenon, a fusion of finance, art, and social psychology. But beyond art and culture, NFTs have far wider applications. In gaming, NFTs represent characters, weapons, or virtual land, assets players can truly own and trade across worlds. In music, NFTs turn songs into collectibles, letting artists share royalties directly with fans. In real estate, NFTs can represent ownership of physical property, verified and transferable without paperwork. Even tickets, identity cards, academic degrees, all can exist as NFTs, verified instantly, impossible to forge. The idea is simple but revolutionary. Everything that can be owned can be tokenized. Every unique object or piece of data in the digital world can have a verifiable owner. This changes the entire logic of the internet. Web 2 was the age of renting. We rented songs on Spotify, rented movies on Netflix, rented attention from social networks. Web 3, powered by NFTs, is the age of owning your data, your content, your assets, your digital life. Yet the road to that future is not linear. The NFT bubble of 2021-2022 burst spectacularly. Speculation collapsed, prices crashed, and public interest faded. Many declared the movement dead. But that crash was necessary. Every technological revolution goes through it. The dot-com bubble didn't kill the internet, it refined it. The same is happening now. The noise fades, the foundation remains. What's left are the builders, those creating infrastructure, utility, and meaning beyond speculation. The next generation of NFTs is already forming quietly. Dynamic NFTs evolve with data, a character that levels up as you play, or a membership pass that changes based on your activity. Soulbound tokens represent identity and reputation, non-transferable NFTs that verify who you are, what you've achieved, and which communities you belong to. These tokens could one day replace resumes, certificates, or even credit scores. In that future, your on-chain identity becomes your new passport. From an investment perspective, NFTs teach an important lesson. Value in crypto is not just financial, it's cultural. What gives something value is not only its scarcity, but the meaning people attach to it. In this sense, NFTs are the emotional layer of blockchain, the bridge between human creativity and digital infrastructure. While Layer 1 and DeFi build the economy, NFTs build the culture. One cannot survive long without the other. It's also worth noting how NFTs change incentives. In the old world, artists sold once and earned nothing afterward. In Web3, NFTs include smart contracts that give creators royalties every time their work is resold. That one simple change flips the power dynamic. It aligns creators and collectors, turning markets into ecosystems. Ownership becomes participatory, not extractive. This shift in incentives is why major industries are now exploring NFTs quietly behind the scenes. Luxury brands are using them for digital authentication. Gaming giants are testing them as player-owned assets. Universities are studying them for credential systems. Even governments are experimenting with NFT-based records for property and identity. The surface noise is gone, but the roots are spreading everywhere. In the long term, NFTs are not a niche. They are a new standard for ownership, not just for crypto natives, but for the entire digital economy. Once the average person realizes that owning a digital asset is as natural as owning a physical one, adoption will become invisible. You won't call it an NFT. You'll just call it mine. For investors, this means the time for speculation is over. The real opportunity lies in infrastructure, interoperability, and identity. Who builds the standards? Who provides the marketplaces? Who integrates NFTs into daily use? Those are the players shaping the next decade. As with every wave before, the money will follow the structure, not the noise. So when you hear the word NFT, don't think of pictures. Think of property. Think of proof. Think of a world where value can exist natively on the internet, where creators keep control, and where ownership itself becomes programmable. This is the whale flow, where we read beyond the headlines to find meaning in the mechanics, where technology meets culture, and where those who understand the structure of ownership today will own the next evolution of the digital world.